Hey everybody, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with AstrologyMojo. I want to help you get your mojo back. Come join me, say hello. We're talking about Uranus conjuncting the North Node in Taurus, and they are both 18 degrees of Taurus right now. That's very exciting. And it'll be so until August, I forgot, 10th, 20th. Yeah, the next couple of weeks. This is a really great time. Hey, Lorraine, Samuel. It's a really great time for you to not be afraid of transformation, because this is the time when you're going to be asked by yourself, the universe, everything that you're outputting right now is going to come back to you in a way that you're going to look at a little differently and say, I'm done. I'm done. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just start over. In case you're new to me and you don't know that I say that in astrology, the planets in astrology don't make you do anything. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos so that when the planets make a move, you feel it. You're a sentient, celestial, eternal being. You're pure conscious love. You feel everything. And the planets don't direct your movements. All right. Let's be empowered. Take back your power and really understand that the planets represent in astrology. They were assigned definitions, and those definitions change as we change, because that's called evolution. Now, Uranus is the revolution, and what it represents is erraticism, rebellion, finances on a higher level. And that can be like, on the downside, it's the black market. On the upside, it's crypto, Bitcoin, it's using digital cards. Oh, wait, don't we already have, like debit cards and credit cards? Yeah. And then they added chips to them. And now they're moving in a new direction to add more security, right? So that everything we do in technology right now, everything that's being created or adjusted in technology is for the sake of advancement. Now, depending on who you are and what you want to do with that advancement, you'll see a hologram in your living room, or you'll try to rip off people in crypto, right? So it's all about perspective and who you are. Now, let me just show you this. Ba-ba-da-ba. Okay, there it is. Okay, so we have the sun in Cancer, Mercury's in Leo now, Venus is in Cancer, and over there we've got Uranus up there in Taurus, right next to the North Node, 18 degrees. Let me break it down for you so you understand a little bit more about what I'm talking about. And that is, Uranus in astrology represents the freedom, humanitarianism, breaking the chains that bind. And how I used to see it, and still do, is Uranus is the vibe that created the chains of limitation, and also simultaneously created the bolt cutter. So you always have a choice. Hey, Latanja and Vicky's here. So what do you want to do with those choices? And sometimes we're presented with, did you ever think that when you were 6, 7 years old, depending on how old you are, I'm 62. So, like, the big deal was everybody gathering around a little TV to watch, space stuff at NASA. Now people are actually buying seats on space stations or going to the moon, not astronauts, but citizens. Hello, citizens of Earth. Welcome. Let me start I've already started. Let me continue with doing a little bit of vibrational in honor of Uranus, because Uranus also, whoa, that's loud, represents music. I'm sorry. I hope if you're wearing headphones, I hope I didn't blow out your ears. I didn't expect it to be that loud. I usually just tap it lightly. Okay, there we go. Sorry. So the humanitarianism can come through technology, It can show itself through freedom fighters. We don't like to fight, but we like to move energy like Doctor Strange and his mentor. And so, what can you do now to feel free? So, basically, sing a song, you play some music, you meditate. I am moving more into energy work. Like I started so many years ago. Let me move this. And so have been for the past 3 years to heal my body and up my vibe. Up your vibe. You want to say that. If somebody cuts you off, somebody ticks you off, just yell that. Up your vibe, dude. Dudette. So this is what I'm doing these days. I'm moving energy, and I'm learning how to detach while I expand simultaneously. Yeah, and that's pretty darn cool. And so when I do that, I realize the connectivity even more. I'm just going to move this for a second. I realize the connectivity that we have to one another, to every living thing or inanimate object that we can put a vibration into, like my kyanite or my angelite or my labradorite and all the ites. And what do I want to do with that? I want to explore what is possible. What's possible? So if I don't know what is possible, I will stay in one place. If I am presented with an opportunity to walk through a door that years ago I never would have even approached, now I might think with a new reality, a new awareness, a new perception. Oh, okay. I'm safe. I think I can do that, or I'm just not interested. If someone said to me, "Hey, do you want to go parachute? Jump out of a plane and go parachuting?" No, it doesn't interest me. Do I want to do the Avatar ride, Flight of the Banshee in Disney World? I'm there, been there. We'll go back because virtual reality is growing at a very fast rate. But if it's out of balance with practical reality or spatial reality, when someone's in your face or when you realize that you have an impact on this world. Do you know that, right? Raise your hand. Yeah. We all have an impact on this world because if I push out an energy and we could snapshot that vibe and we can see it moving, everything's has momentum to it. Everything has an energy to it. That's why people, in winter, in cold places where there are carpets and you're walking and it builds up, they call it static electricity. That is such an oxymoron. There's no such thing as static electricity, but it is a buildup of energy that when eventually you make contact with another surface, that energy explodes. And so Uranus in Taurus is almost like an oxymoron because Taurus is a vibe that represents stability, security. Let me just graze in the grass, see how it feels. I got to get my feet grounded. I need to feel safe. Do not push, but encourage. And where can I put my energy to make the best use of my time? To make the best and biggest contribution that I can make, but never at the sake of myself. Well, Uranus comes, that's Taurus. And then Uranus comes along and says, "Pow, how about you try this? How about you go there? How about you experience a deprivation tank, hyperbaric chamber? Anybody ever done that? Yeah. Okay. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to bring an iPod in there because it could affect the performance. You can have a book and maybe a little thing of water, but that's it for 90 minutes. And the thing about experiencing a reality that is not your own, it's like saying, I'm going to speak to you in a different language. And some people hear me talk about astrology and they're like, what? What did you say? Uranus? No, it's pronounced Uranus. Okay, let's just start there. And translation from the Greek, the heavens, the cosmos. And when you're presented with a new reality, the first thing most people do, not everyone, but most people do, is they stop. I don't know what that is. Maybe I'm interested, or outright no. Don't even know. That's a no. I remember my husband, Dean. Oh my gosh, by the way, Dean, he's on an airplane right now. I love you and happy anniversary. So 26 years married and 30 years together. So what happened? Oh, when our Dean said to me once a long time ago, he's a bit of an adventurer, and he has had 2 back surgeries, so he can't actually do many adventures anymore. But and that's congenital, not because of jumping out of planes or anything. But he said to me a long time ago, he's like, "You want to go like river rapids? You want to?" I was like, okay. I have to research it. I'm a Taurus. And he's a Taurus rising. He's ready to like jump in. He was like, "Yeah, come on, let's go experience." So rising sign is different than the actual sun sign. And so we did go. And while Dean was literally diving into the Colorado Rapids 20 years ago, I was hanging on to, there's nothing to hang on to in a pontoon except other people. So I was like sitting in the back, like, this is fun. Okay. But then when it was all over, I mean, it was the most phenomenal experience. So slowly building toward that charge, that electrical charge that might be considered the static electricity, contact, where you're just like, and in the movie Contact, Jodie Foster, it's like she's out in space and she's looking at beautiful nebula, and she just says, "I had no idea. They should have sent a poet." And we also have, do I have it on my screen? Let me see. I took a screenshot of it. We have the new telescope. Yeah, astrophysicists and astronomers have been geeking out over it. Let me see if I can get that on my screen. I'm going to open it up. And Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about it. And what's her name? I'm so sorry. I forgot her name right now. She's the other. I'm going to have to stop sharing the other one. Share screen. Let's see. Okay. What do we got here? Here it is. This one. Okay. Now we see this. Okay. The new Webb, excuse me, the new Webb telescope is showing us this. Now, those really bright star, we want to just ignore that, because as we are told, Neil deGrasse Tyson said that, pardon me, that is refraction from the camera lens. So it's just picking up the way it picks up light. But what we're looking at are tons, hundreds, thousands more galaxies than we've ever seen before. I get chills, with so much more potential for expansion in this universe with our thought, with our experience. And those of you who consider themselves to be galactic star seeds, have starlights. I have starlight families with me all the time. And so we get to see now what it's looking like out there. Isn't that beautiful? We have so much more technology. And that's another thing that, and I'm going to stop this screen share. And then go to the next one. And we have so much more technology, which is what Uranus also represents, is higher technology. Not just the computers or video games or what we've done with cell phones in a very short amount of time in this world, but the expansion of our universe through technology and what we can see. So let me just go here. Okay, so what is it that you guys want to do? What do you want to do with this freedom? And it may come to you in the form of, I'm going to resist so much that I'm going to make myself sick. Or I'm going to, we're looking at right now this week, the moon and Mars today, 11 degrees of Taurus, Uranus and North Node. North Node represents your door to freedom. The South Node is what you're moving away from. Been there, done that. It's toxic, or I just completed something. That's it. It's done. It was the past. But you can take some of the past and move it forward if it serves you and the world. What's your contribution? That's what Uranus is asking you. Are you an anarchist? You're going to blow stuff up to make your point? Or are you going to use thought? It's Uranus represents Aquarius, and Aquarius, it's an air sign, not a water sign. It's an air sign, and it is the individual, a cosmic individual spreading, not water, but thought, currents, and currency. So currents of electricity, wind, and water, and thought. So that's why we look at financial markets right now. Between now and mid-August, we're going to see some changes. We're going to see technological changes. We're going to see technological changes that, and it may be as simple as, oh, look, I don't have an iPhone. I use Android, Samsung, but it's like, oh, a new iteration. And now you don't even need, a wedding photographer. You just set it up and it follows you. It has motion sensors. That's the new thing in the iPhone. It has motion sensors. So, technology, we'll see, it filters down. But what's really happening out there is that new places are being discovered. So I want you to discover something in your mind. What do you want to discover right now? Are you drawn? Uranus also represents astrology. So are you utilizing astrology to help yourself? Latanja says, I'm keeping my amethyst and clear quartz close for Uranus Aquarius. Yeah, amethyst. I have so much, but it's in the other room. Amethyst is the vibe. You can stick it under your pillow near your bed. You can get calm with it. It is a higher vibe frequency. So Uranus representing music, right? But also Uranus representing the frequency of transformation. So you might try something new, a new vibrational healing technique. You might be doing tuning forks. You might be doing sound. Maybe you're working in an industry that is revolutionizing evolution, the re-evolution of something, how people hear, with hearing aids or with musical equipment, or with your understanding of science. Uranus also represents science and scientific activity as it relates to economical growth. We look at NASA. The movie Interstellar? Well, NASA is represented by like 8 people in the future. And that's it. But they're building this big thing that goes into space and becomes, the new civilization for humanity. So these quantum leaps, tiny, big jumps, is also what Uranus and Taurus represents. Now, it being conjunct the North Node is the open door to your future. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to take it? What benefits you from doing something that feels true, might or might not help other people? But let me tell you something. If you help yourself, you are automatically putting a vibe into the world that helps other people. Okay. So that's like the new way to serve. And the higher the frequency, meditation is so key. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, once a day, twice a day, when you wake up, before you go to bed, somewhere in the middle of the day, just meditate. Because as you meditate, what you do is you alter your frequency. And when you alter your frequency, you affect the things around you. Okay? And what's also very cool, and I put a video up on Instagram and also on the Facebook page. If you're watching this in YouTube, please go to my Facebook page. I haven't put the video up on YouTube yet, but it's morphic resonance. And in morphic resonance, this fork was put, and it's just about different techniques to move energy. And there's no strong arming. It's not like you're like, you're not doing that. But this fork was put 3 feet away from me in a room by myself. And then I put a regular fork in the same from the same box next to it, and I waited about 40 minutes. I kept checking, and then eventually it bent. Very, with the kind of pressure that you would open up a can with. That was it. And it bent. So the regular fork sitting next to the one that was already bent started to pick up the exchange of energy. They were facing each other. I had them face each other like this. And this one was laying flat. And they, in 40 minutes, they started to exchange their vibes. Right. So that by the time I picked this one up and I was like, oh, I didn't want to go that way. I turned it over. It felt like a hard silly putty, or Play-Doh. And I was like, whoa. And then I was so shocked, I almost dropped the fork because I wasn't putting focus on it. You see, morphic resonance. And you have the same ability. Now, how do you apply that in everyday world? You're cleaning off your desk, people are calling, you got emails and bills, you got laundry, you got to go food shopping, somebody's coming into town, you're like, I'm not prepared, I have to clean my house now, what the hell? It's like, where'd that bill come from? So stuff happens, but so that you don't get caught in a spin and a frequency that is not serving you, you need to take a nice deep breath right now, because Uranus is asking you to move toward the north door. Not really, but that's what it represents. It is an individual and collective experience. We are going to see freedom fighters. We are going to see people exposed for literally slavery, trafficking, drugs and people, inhumane things done to animals. Right? So we're going to see this collective, outrage, and at the same time, a solution. And in Taurus, it's going to be, all right, let's take a look at this. How do I feel about this? What can we do about this? What's the potential for this? If someone introduced me to a pen and I've never seen a pen before, I'm going to look at it and say, oh, isn't that pretty? I like silver. And they say, no, you can actually, do things with it. You can, oh, look at that. That's fun. Makes a fun sound. No. Okay. You do this and then you put it to paper and you put your thoughts down. Wow. What? Right. So that's what we're in right now. And so someone in the news, in your neighborhood, in your own mind, during a meditation, is going to present you with an opportunity to take on a new thought. What's that new thought going to be? I don't know. What do you think? What have you been working on lately? What have you been thinking about? What is the thing that's stopping you? That's what I want to know. Let me know. Hey, Barbie's here. Long Beach. Okay. I'm going to pull a card from, is this making sense? I hope so. Lily Ashwell's Heavenly Bodies Astro Deck. I really love the artwork. Because of the green screen, you can't really see the actual fuzzy cloud and sunlight. But I'm going to whip this into shape. So meditating every day is going to help you really move into that place of, what do I do now? Who do I do it with? And what's been stopping me? The revolution or the re-evolution of your dreams coming true. Something might get sparked. Some people might be going to extremes right now. Like, I'm just going to have that facelift. And it's not about judging why. It's like, well, they're beautiful. Why would they even think? Because it's whatever is in the person's mind and body that feels like, now's the time. I want to do this thing. And it's going to look radical to a lot of people. Okay. Well, I pulled the Taurus card to start, kind of slid out there. Trust, patience, and sensuality. So what are some things you can do to help yourself to feel good? How about plants? It's that simple. Just water some plants. I mean, at the least, you could do something, right? Samuel said, just demonstrated things for a student and realized that I need to stop second guessing my abilities and go out into the world more as a violinist. Okay, there you go. Boom. Uranus, vibration. And the Taurus part is the trusting part, right? The musical part, as a musician, you can relate to when you feel a sound, you want to play it, and you know what it sounds like in your mind, and then you train your body to work with the instrument, even if the instrument is your voice and you're singing. You work with your body so that you have a, a partnership. And then the Taurus is I'm going to ground that partnership in this feels good, this feels safe, this feels right, I trust this. So I'm proud of you. Uranus, on the collective, it is going to look like there's new things falling away, people fighting against. Again, comes the word fight because of the anarchy and the revolution that Uranus can represent. And that is people uprising against government and, being put into systems in the government way back when AIDS became a thing. And before that, people only attributed AIDS to the gay community. Yet drug users were contracting AIDS from needles, right? But there was a stigma put on a community, and everyone would look at that community and say, "Oh my gosh, don't touch my salad. You have AIDS." Or it's because you're being condemned, and or you get put on a database. And that's when HEPA became big in the medical community. It's like, it's nobody's business who has what and what they're doing to resolve it, if anything. Right? But what comes with transformation is fear. So if you find yourself reading about uprisings and you start to go down that rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, the world's falling apart, it's just crazy out there. Okay, you can say that, but then be done with it. Because what's behind it is the people who are looking to free people from tyranny, from oppression, from false information. And so I'm not recommending that, you become like the villagers with burning torches. But where you start is here, right here. I was talking to somebody yesterday and they said, I have a friend who's about to do something and I don't agree with it and I'm very upset about it and I'm going to try to talk him out of it. And I said, whoa, wait a second. Is your friend doing something that's going to harm anyone? And they said, no, but it could be. I think it's kind of risky what they're doing. And I said, but it's not your business. Does it make the thought of what they're about to do, does it make them happy? Oh yeah. Like they're really determined. They're going to go do this thing and they're very determined. I was like, then be supportive and be happy for them. You wouldn't do that thing. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So I just pulled opposition. Now I'm going to look at the chart for opposition. Let's go see. Come fly with me. Here we go. Opposition. What do we got? We have the North Node, Uranus, and the Moon all opposing. And that would include Mars, all opposing South Node. So if you feel the pull to let go of something and you're afraid because you don't know what it's going to look like, what if I retire too early? What if I have to, what if they cut my benefits? What if I can't get Medicare? And I'm talking about systems, right? Because we're looking at collective right now, and governments and sometimes political systems tell you what they think is best for you. Like I can't tell you the amount of calmness I put myself into when I think about the rights of women throughout time. But right now it's like, we're in the 21st century. My body, my choice. And if yeah, okay, we won't get on that track. But the way you can help yourself and the world right now with this opposition is to look at two sides. How do I feel about this thing? And is my contribution to the solution of this thing my anger? Is that going to help? Maybe I just have the reaction, it's combustible, right? It's static electricity. Boom, you make contact. I didn't know. Or you're holding in your anger, you're holding in your sadness, you're holding it in, you're holding it in, you're holding it in, you're holding it in. And then the next thing you know, you're rear-ended. You're like, what? Your energy is spinning at a vibration, and that vibration is going to either cause harm or healing for yourself or the world. And so the next couple of weeks are going to be paramount to what you choose to feel and think instead of going right for anarchy or revolution. You see people with signs, they're protesting something, and then you drive by and you go, oh, I didn't even know I don't even know who that person is. Who are they talking about? What's the issue there? Oh, wow. And you read up on it or you hear about it and you say, oh, wow. So if you can be as neutral as possible, you are helping the world right there. And then you might ask, I wonder what I might be able to do about that, if anything. Well, I know what I can do right now in my home and in my body, and that is to output a frequency of love. Because the more I output that frequency, it moves like a wave. Because everything is in motion. Everything. So then you can be the morphic resonance for the thing outside of you. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm talking about? You have this power. So instead of getting on the bandwagon and they said that and I can't, and I'm going to give me the petition. Okay, sign a petition, but with what's the momentum behind it? If it is rage or anger or condemnation or judgment, that's the same energy as what just appeared that triggered it. We can't have this. That's an opposition. So when you back off and you say, oh my gosh, you know what just happened? Because people look at me lately and they go, how are you doing that? That's like magic. I was like, it feels like magic and it is magical. But when something as simple as, something as simple as I get a Vitacost, hey, summer greetings, 12% off your order. And I said, wow, I love that because I order from Vitacost. And then I put it down. And I said, my husband's like, oh, we could use this, this, this. And I was like, great, just give me your list. I said, I'm not going to order it today because I would like 15% off, maybe 20. So I'm just going to wait for that because it's coming. And then I went about my business, detached, happy that I was going to get a 15% off, maybe 20. And so 3 days later, I got my 15% off. So I went and ordered my stuff. Life always works out for me. My life is a miracle. Is yours? So the more detached you are from wanting something to happen, and sometimes it's very difficult when you're having a physical experience, and that is there's been an accident, you haven't heard from someone you love or care about, and you're nervous and you're worried, and it's like, I don't know. When you're in that place of I don't know, that's when fear takes over, or can. That's when worry, a minion of fear, takes over. That's when doubt, accusations, panic, anxiety, that's when all of that takes over. But you have a choice, and that is to do the radical transformational thing, and to get still and meditate and get calm and trust the information that comes to you. Because as hard as it sounds, as harsh as it might sound, there is no death. There is a transmutation of energy. So things merely change shape. Now, does that mean if someone I know were to suddenly tragically step out in front of a bus, I would cry for months, right? I would feel sad. I would mourn their physical loss, but I would also know that they are in a much more expansive place and a much more aware place. So being on this earth comes with gravity. And the gravity of a situation is I wanted a cup. I did before Christmas. I wanted a cup and I wanted um, a ceramic cup and I wanted something that felt soft but not too heavy. I wanted my fingers to fit. And so I went looking for all these cups and I saw this one cup that I loved and it was like $80. And I thought, knowing me, the way I drop things, I was like, I don't know if I want to spend $80 on a ceramic mug. It was beautiful, Italian, but yeah. So I just put it out to the universe. I would really like a cup that helps me to feel cozy and that it's soft to the touch and that when I drink from it, and so for Christmas, my kid who had been working in Multnomah, my kid lives in Oregon, and they were working at this gift store by the waterfalls and they bought me this cup and I opened it up on Christmas and I was like, thank you. I got my cup. And it is like, it's the perfect weight. It fits. And I love the green color. And it's just, I love it. Okay. So it's like Christmas or Hanukkah or no, let's not go to religious ceremonies. How about life, miracles, magic? It works out. It does. So the moment you start to panic in the next couple of weeks, the moment you're going to be presented with what feels like an extreme solution. It's like you're crying over something you've been crying about for 30 years and someone looks at you and says, "Oh, please, take a nice deep breath." It's like the last thing you want to tell someone who's literally having a panic attack to relax. That's like the worst thing you could say, but that's going to feel like a slap in the face. In the next couple of weeks, it's going to feel extreme. So you want to watch your judgments. You want to watch the energy that you're putting out into the world and start with, my life is magical. I'm a miracle. And what is the gravity of my situation? Well, I walk. And so I don't float away because we have literal gravity here on this earth. That it's almost magical to me that below the equator, I'm in the northern hemisphere, but below the equator, things rotate differently. You flush your toilet down under and it goes in the different direction. I said that to a friend the other day laughing and they were like, wait, what? What did you just say? I said, this is what happens. And I was like, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, the earth, magical. And so when we're learning, absorbing, hearing about things in the family, like you eloped, well, what do you mean? Or the doctor says, yeah, there is something in the blood test on the x-ray. You're like, shock. You're like, what? So it might be looked at as a wake-up call for some people. It might be looked at as the solution they've been waiting for. I didn't know that existed. What? I want to do that. I'm going to do that. Or thank you. My husband got me a new green screen. I was using a green cloth and it was like fuzzy. And so he said, we're going online and let me get you one that is an actual screen and we're going to, install it on the wall. And I was like, thank you. It is so much easier now, my setup, to do these videos. So I'm grateful for that. Like technology is going to show you a solution, but also with that solution comes, you know what? The 5G vibe. I had a practitioner say to me, I went back to New York. I slept in way above the ground because if you're not grounded, you can get spacier, feel confused or feel upset over a long period of time. And, there's 5G from every tower. I slept like a baby. That's what they said. And I laughed so hard. And I said, but you're tuned to that frequency. You can handle that frequency. Some people can't, right? So whatever your reality is, number one, we're not going to judge it. We're not going to minimize it. and we're not going to project it onto someone else and try to make them see your way. Taurus is famous for that. Taurus energy is famous for, I just quit smoking, or I just discovered, Pero chicory barley drink. Now everybody has to have it because it's the best thing in the world. It's like the moment you stop something, you want to let people know. Yeah, you don't want to eat that. You don't want to drink that. Well, isn't that what you were doing for 20 years? Yeah, I was, but now I'm not. And here's why you don't. So there's no preaching to the choir. Look in the mirror. That's who you're going to talk to. You're going to move your vibe. You're going to stop the worry, minimize the worry so you can maximize the transformation. You're an energetic being. What vibe do you want to put out into the world? Just what is your superpower? Is it sound? Is it music? Is it writing? Is it energy work? Is it baking? Is it cooking? Is it knowing finances? Is it gathering the group and leading them? Is it supporting the ones who don't know how to lead? So you have a superpower. So discover it in the next couple of weeks. I'm excited for you because then it can be lucrative. Taurus is show me the money. I can't stop thinking of Cuba in Jerry Maguire. It's like, Jerry, show me the money. Well, that's like a Taurus baseline. I have to start there, says the Taurus. Show me the money and I can relax. Then I know it'll be all right. Although, actually, I'm not that way. And people will say to me, you're not like the typical Taurus. Where I like to go slower and have fun and just enjoy cozy times and be at home. Yes. And look at all my little plants and like pick the dried leaves off and stare at the sunflowers that are now falling over in the wind. but I'm not attached to the stuff. I never have been. So the higher vibe of any sign is detachment, but with compassion. So go there. Ricard says, I'm late. You're just on time. You're always on time, never late. I heard someone say to me the other day, yeah, I'm just going to I'm cheating. It's like, are you on a specific diet? Well, I just wanted to drop a couple pounds. And so, but I'm cheating because I've had a stressful week. And I said, here you are, you're criticizing yourself and you're qualifying it. And it's just a mind game. It's just a mental trap. There is no cheating. There is enjoying something. If you want to enjoy this thing, enjoy it. We've come here to experience sensation and sound and creation. What can I make? What can I make? Well, look at your life, folks. Everything that's in it, you made or you brought to you. That is the law of attraction and action. That is it. That's how it works. So if you don't like what's in your life, it's about you stepping up, vocalizing perhaps, or facing the mirror and those inner thoughts that say, you're not enough, there isn't enough, I'm afraid. What if I do that? What if that happens? The what ifs stop you from seeing your potential. And so that's the South Node. All right, one more time before we go today. The South Node looks like horseshoe upside down. Been there, done that. Oh my gosh, it's so warm today. I am. Whew. Okay. Been there, done that. And then the North Node is security toward transformation. Security with transformation. Letting go of the bully in you. Uranus and Taurus can be the bully. So if someone is talking to you in a way that you don't deserve to hear and they don't need to be saying, or in the tone that they're using it, that's when you put up your hand, and you're like, okay, I hear what you're saying. I don't like how you're saying it, but I do hear what you're saying and I don't agree. But thank you for your input. And please don't talk to me like that again, because I'll just walk away. So you set the boundary ahead of time and say, yeah, that behavior's not okay. Because the people who are very fearful, they're going to come out with bully behavior. And we're seeing that all over the place. We've been seeing it for thousands of years, but now we're going to see it even more. But we're going to respond differently to it. Our vibe is going to be different, so that the higher you vibrate, a resonance of compassion, of solutions, of pure conscious love, of, okay, yeah, I get it. And if you step on somebody else's toes and they say, hey, ow, and you are suddenly aware that I didn't realize I did that. I'm so sorry. That's accountability. Okay. So we're going to look at accounting with finances and accountability with behavior, because everything you put out there is out there. It is out there. There is no erasing yesterday. That's the South Node. Been there, done that. You don't need to take it with you. Oh, I remember when I, invested in whatever and my IRA and the CDs crashed, and I was like, wow. So tell me, what bearing does that have now on your life? Yeah, I don't know about investing in that thing, right? So the past is going to present you with, it didn't work out then, it's probably not going to work out then, in the future, or there, or here, or now, or tomorrow. So, and that's the caution. Now, we want to be cautious in the world, but the vibration that you output is the vibration that you will manifest. So, and if you're unaware of a fear or an insecurity, it will be brought to light in the next couple of weeks. And if you are aware of it, here comes the solution, and here comes the transformation. I don't know why it's coming to me, but I remember being a kid and watching Soul Train on Saturday and just hearing that Soul Train, and I would get up and start dancing in the living room. And that's how I feel when I love what I'm doing, or I feel accomplished, even if it's not it's like, yeah, I wanted to just sweep the floor. I did it. Yay. I hear Soul Train in my head. It's like, yeah, we're going to go to the next place. And that next place is when you take that, let's get rid of that. When you take that good feeling energy and you move to that next moment, or the next moment, or the next thing, or the client meeting, or the whatever you have to do. I have to meet the banker today, or I had to do something with a security safety deposit box. And I needed to withdraw $74 and change to pay for something at the bank. And the woman, the teller, was so not present. She took my debit card and took out $740.59. And I looked at it, and she's handing me all this money. And I said, what are we doing here? And she was like, oh my gosh, I can't put it back. Like, she panicked. I can't put it back. I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's okay. It's always good to have cash on hand. I said, the fortunate thing is that I had the cash in the account, because if I didn't, there'd be an overdraft charge, which I would present to this facility. Oh yeah, absolutely. I said, so it all worked out though, right? The what if didn't happen. So it's okay. And she was profusely, oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Stuff is going to happen. How we respond to it shows us what's going to happen next. And on that note, I will see you next Thursday. Go out and do something fun. Go do something fun. Come back and report to me next week about what your realizations are about Uranus in Taurus conjuncting the North Node. Open door to freedom. What's your transformation look like? It's exciting. All right, folks. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being. Go put some love into the world and go have fun with something. Because this is it. This is the moment. Ain't no stopping us now. Hey, Sage says thanks. You too, Vicky. Okay, bye. Bye, everybody. See you. I'm suddenly having memories of Romper Room. Oh, Adriana, your North Node is in Taurus? Ah, well then, big changes, right? Big changes. No fighting. Just assess. You're welcome.